What is going on, guys? We're getting ready to load the bike up right now. Unfortunately, we're not going riding today, but Yeti is getting some well-deserved TLC. So let's get the bike loaded up, get on the road. Look at this. Get out of the road, geese. They're in a parking lot, not on the road. And we are on the road. Yeti's all strapped down in the bed there. We're headed down to Castle Rock to Applied Technology Suspension, which is a certified RaceTech suspension shop. So it's been a while since I did suspension work on Yeti. My dad and I, there we go. My dad and I put the springs in, but we didn't do gold valves or anything like that. And after my Thunder Valley video, Checkers, who you may know from Reflex and Alive and now the MX Simulator community, awesome track maker, great guy in the community, just a great guy in general. He watched the video and he's like, DeeO, no, you have RaceTech support, and he works for RaceTech. He's like, you have support, you got to use it. This isn't working out. Like, what you're doing with the bike is not working out. So I've never been great with suspension, so I appreciated him reaching out. But I think most people, at least I did, when you think about suspension, you think about like packing it up in a gun case, sending it off to Cali, waiting for it to come back, testing it. If something's wrong, you might have to send it back. You're talking to someone over the phone trying to diagnose what's going on with the suspension, and it's just a bummer. But with RaceTech, they actually have these certified dealerships all over the US and all over the world, so you can get the same high quality components and the hands-on technician who's RaceTech certified, usually relatively close to where you live. Like, this is only half an hour from me where we're going. And what's nice about that, obviously you're not gonna have to send the suspension on and off. They do a few different things. They make sure everything's set up when they put it back on the bike, and then they're also there trackside. I know that Tyler with Applied, he comes out to the local races, and if you need help with your sag, or you know, if there's some braking bumps that you're not sure if you should stiffen it up or do your rebound, he's there to walk you through it and actually help you. You know, he's on your side. So we're going to go down there, get the suspension handled. I know, and I'm guilty of it myself, when you get a new bike, you want the flashy stuff, you want the exhaust system, you want the graphics or whatever, anodized parts, but really, suspension's honestly the first thing you should do. Maybe it's not like the most flashy, voice crack, there we go. Maybe it's not the most flashy, the most exciting looking stuff, but when you can actually control the bike and the bike works how you expect it to, and you're not going to hit a bump and get kicked, then you can ride faster. So you're probably actually going to be faster. Actually, I'm pretty positive you're going to be faster when you're riding a bike that can handle correctly, as opposed to just bolting on some extra horsepower that you can't really handle, or the bike is just all over the place on. So Checkers hooked me up with Tyler at Applied Technology Suspension, so we're ripping down there. If you're looking to get your suspension down, RaceTech on their website, you can actually go on and find your local authorized dealer, and you're going to get the same awesome components. You're going to get a certified technician. It's just like sending it to Cali, but locally. And it's not like when they're in Cali, they're somehow a better suspension guy. It's the same quality you're getting, just locally. So check that out if you're interested in getting your suspension done. And let's get down to Tyler and get Yeti the love it deserves. Quick little interjection here. If you guys watch this video and you get stoked about getting your suspension done, which I really hope you do, because just stay tuned, make sure you email Chris at racetech.com. Chris Checkers, it's the same guy, but he's the man. He's going to get you in touch with your local RaceTech service center, get you all taken care of, squared away, and you're going to be mind blown. So enjoy the rest of the video, and if you're serious about getting your suspension done, definitely, well, hey Sora, email Chris at RaceTech. So he'll take care of you. Just got done pulling the forks and the rear shock. Tyler knocked it out in record time, almost like he knows what he's doing here. But so now we're going to head out and actually drop in the springs and valves and all the actual internal stuff. What's it looking like, Tyler?
Feels good so far. We'll see what it looks like on the inside.
So I'm in the trailer with Tyler. He's tearing apart the forks right now. And what we were just talking about was the fork preload. When we put in the new springs, my dad and I didn't set up the preload correctly, and so there's actually a 3mm dead spot. And Tyler showed me when you took off the fork, you could push down on it, and there was a spot before the fork actually hit the spring, but there was nothing there. So we're gonna make sure we get that taken care of. But just another reason to take it to your certified RaceTech technician, so they know what they're doing. To answer right away, I was going to ask you the most common mistake someone makes when they do their own suspension.
Well, if they're just installing springs, spring preload is 99% of the time isn't either measured or it's measured incorrectly. Our springs, like we use this same spring on a lot of different forks, so the length of it isn't always identical to stock.
Right.
And then also too, sometimes stock, they have way too much preload on them or way too little preload on them, so it's something that you always want to check, which most people don't. They just will drop the spring in and kind of run it.
Yep.
As far as installing the gold valve goes, float.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's, so we can talk about it more when I'm doing it, but the difference is 0.05 millimeters is the difference between right and wrong when you're doing float.
Very, very small window.
Super
there.
small window. So yeah, and that's one of the most common things that we see incorrect on stuff that's been installed themselves. So.
Just finished up getting the fork stuff done, so we have the cartridges and everything, and then Tyler's gonna drop them back into the fork tubes, do the seals, but all the internals with the gold valves on there, all handled, and then we have our stock valves, shims, all that stuff right there. So the all new internals and looking funky fresh.
Set for Sean Skidmore, and then I got to do that spring conversion.
Okay, yep.
And now Josh Kellogg's calling me. Hey Josh, what's up? Is he gonna try running the air fork?
He's putting together all the fork stuff right now. And as he was working, he actually got a phone call from a local rider who was having some questions about suspension. And yet another great reason to go with your local suspension guy. He just answers the phone. He knows the guy first name basis, and he's like, yeah, you know, you went with this shock. Did you try this one? You know, maybe try this one next time. So just giving advice on how to make the bike work better and everything. And that's just some awesome customer service you can get. And, you know, if the guy came out to the track tomorrow, Tyler would come out and watch him ride and help him out. But just giving him some advice over the phone on what to get handled. Got everything put back together, and now the bike's actually going back together. So all the internals, all the suspension work is done, and now we're just throwing, well, we are just throwing the shock back in and then strap the forks back up. All right, guys, we got Yeti all loaded up with the new applied technology RaceTech suspension. Really want to say thank you to Tyler. Really appreciate the work you did, man. Thank you so much. And sounds like we're gonna go rip up as soon as we can, get the sag set, get everything handled with it, and it's gonna be a dream to ride on. So I'm super excited about it, and I'll meet you guys at the track when we set it all up. And we are on our way out of Tyler's race shop. So that was a lot of fun. I learned so much about suspension just sitting there. Tyler told me so much, taught me a whole bunch, showed me some cool things that I've never known before, and just seeing the internals of the suspension. And sure, you can look at a gold valve and you can look at your stock valve, but he's actually able to tell me like where it's tapered and where there's like a little bit of cutout material or whatever, and what that does. And it's just like mind-blowing. It was really cool to be just sitting there listening to an expert as he was doing my suspension. So we'd like to make it to Thunder tomorrow. During this video you guys are going to see that, because I'm not going to release this till we go to the track, but hopefully we get to the track very soon. We'll double check the sag. My bike is kind of sideways tilted, but it's fine, it's strapped down tight. Do the sag, and then just have Tyler there as a resource for if I you know, tell him that like it feels like this, then he can tell me what way to go with the clickers or whatever. So, and he's a rider himself, but that was really cool. That was a great way to spend my day, and you know, that's his job. He's great at it. He's a fast worker, got it all knocked out, and I have the peace of mind of knowing that my bike has been done by a, you know, certified technician who does this stuff as a living. So very, very cool. I'm extremely excited. I hope I'm conveying it well, because I literally have goosebumps. That's how excited I am about what we just did to the bike. So can't wait to get out there and try it all out and bring you guys along. Oh, and just as a little side note, I know people have already said it to me just from what I post on social media, being like, oh, are you getting it anodized? No, I'm not doing any coatings or any anodized stuff. That's money that I don't need to be spending. And talking to Tyler, he was saying when they do like the cross hatching on the chrome tubes, not the tubes, like innards, whatever, it's just as slick as if you get a coating or whatever. So yeah, that stuff would look super trick. I'm not saying that, like that is very, very cool, but that's dinero that would be better spent somewhere else. Oh man, I forgot I'm kind of like out in the country where people wave to each other. The guy just waved at me, so I waved back. That was awesome. But yeah, so no crazy rainbow anodization. As cool as that'd be, my wallet isn't that deep at all. It's very, very shallow. So just wanted to let you guys know about that. A slight change of plans. We're actually coming down to Aztec to test the suspension. The weather's moving in. We're kind of in a race against time with that, but we're meeting Tyler down there so we can do the first few rides with the suspension and just make sure everything's dialed in. And he's going to spin some laps too, so that'll be a lot of fun. So we're here with Tyler from Applied with RaceTech, and we're setting the sag this morning. His dogs are here having a good time, but he's getting the sag all dialed in before we go out for the first time.
Love it when the math works out. You're spot on.
Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah, no problem. We do it, just a little thing for you, because I watched you guys set sag last time up slightly, and then we push up, let it come back down slightly. What we're measuring there is the stiction zone. So this bike, for example, had 5 millimeters.
All right, we're going out. First ride today. The suspension all set up. What's up, man? So my sag set at 108 per Tyler and RaceTech. Let's go check this bad boy out. Oh my God, this feels so amazing. Okay, I'm halfway through my first lap, and yeah, the track isn't as rough as the end of the day at Aztec last week. It'll get there, but the suspension is just incredible. It has so much more hold up, so much more initial, like the initial hit before we're not hit some bumps or land. It felt like, I mean, maybe it was that dead spot. It felt like there was nothing there, and then I would just kind of smash. And now it's like nothing hurts as much, and it feels like the bike settles into corners way easier. Like that. It bounces, and then I bounce right into the corner. I don't bounce and feel like I'm gonna overshoot the corner. It just feels super grounded. Like when I hit the bumps, it absorbs it, and I remain contact with the ground. I don't bounce up out of the ruts and stuff. So much more comfortable than every ride since my wrist. I can actually over jump stuff and not kill myself. Wow, this is absolutely insane, you guys. For me, someone who doesn't really know suspension, I could change clickers all day. This is phenomenal. Oh my gosh. Woo! You guys, I don't even know the words to say. I kind of said someone I was on the bike. I've never been like a real in-depth suspension person. I was telling Tyler, you could probably run my clicks 5 clicks in and I couldn't even tell you. I'd have no idea. Everything they did to the suspension, I wish I had done the moment I got the bike. As I drove to Aztec the first time, I wish I'd stopped at Tyler's and done it that day. I can't begin to tell you how amazing it is. I felt like the corners, I wasn't bucking into the corners. Tyler did help me with some riding technique, just not to drag the brakes, stuff like that I should have been doing already. But so the suspension was working better, but I felt like I could actually get into a rut. I wasn't getting kicked back out and bouncing out and having to fight the bike in. I just could kind of turn it, put my leg up, again, working on keeping my knee high, and I would just fall right into the rut. And I can't believe it. I hit the camelback thing, and I even threw it a little bit sideways, which I've been scared of. And like last time at Aztec, I over jumped that thing and smashed into the bars and didn't feel good. This time it just soaked it up. I didn't even bottom out on it. I am mind blown just how much better it is. Just, it has more bottoming resistance, it's plusher, it handles everything better, the bike doesn't buck. I can't, mind blown. So I'm really excited. I'm gonna check my Lit Pro laps. I don't even know if I put down a real clean lap, but I know they're already faster than last time we were out here. And this, I don't want to say it's like the most comfortable I've ever been because I'm still dealing with the wrist, but definitely since the wrist, this is amazing. So much worlds better. And I know the track will of course get rougher, which I'm excited for, so I can check that out and try it when there's more braking bumps and stuff. But just everything with it is very good. I'm very happy about it. So very, very, very stoked, excited to go back out there some more. That's gonna wrap it up for the day. So good on Yeti, so happy with the suspension, just felt so much better today. Not like my wrist isn't sore or anything, it definitely is. And to be honest, the track didn't get as rough as last week, but it did still get rougher, of course, than it was this morning. But the wrist is feeling it a little bit, but just such a good day. So much better than Tyler. Really appreciate all the work you did. Thanks for everything at the track today, man. All right, bro. Awesome. I'll see you around. All right. See you guys next time. Yes, sir. All right, guys. So we're rolling out. I'm just amazed, so happy with the suspension. If you're interested in getting yours done, email chris@racetech.com and he'll take care of you. So just hit him up, let him know everything, and we'll get you handled. He'll get you handled. So very, very happy about it. Awesome day out here. So happy with the suspension.